Hi, this is Sarah Mikesel with the Poultry Site, and today we're here with Dr. Doug Korver. He is with Alpine Poultry Nutrition and the University of Alberta. Thanks for being with us today, Doug.
My pleasure, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
Very good. And today, for our readers, Doug and I are at the Poultry Science Association meeting that is located in Raleigh, North Carolina. And to start out, Doug, I was going to say you have two jobs already, and now you've taken on a third job. You are, as of this morning, the new president of the Poultry Science Association. So tell us a little bit about PSA and also about kind of your experience being in PSA over the years.
Sure. Poultry Science Association aims to be the leading resource for scientific information and other resources for the poultry sciences around the world. We have about 1,800 members, and there's over 1,900 people at the conference, so we're very happy about that. We have graduate students, we have professional members that are in academia and government and also industry, so we represent a really broad swath of what the poultry sciences encompass. So I've been a member since 1989, so I was an undergraduate student and I joined, and one of the things that I've loved about this organization is just the collaborations and the interactions, mostly at meetings like this. Even as a graduate student, I was able to meet some of the people that had written the papers that I've been reading, and they always took the time and had the willingness to talk to me as a lowly grad student and answer my questions, and it's just those connections that I've made over the years that have been really fantastic. They've been really fulfilling professionally and personally, and many of my very, very close friends are members of the Poultry Science Association.
Very good. And one of the things I think is so great about this meeting is it is a big student, there's a big student showing here and a big student component of this meeting. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. One of the things that makes us unique is that we really put an emphasis on graduate student development as an organization.
Right.
And so many other scientific conferences, if grad students are participating, they're giving a poster. They don't really have that opportunity to stand up and practice the skills that hopefully someday they'll be using as professionals in academia or the industry. And so we have a lot of sessions for graduate students, and we encourage our graduate students to enter the student competition. So that ups the ante a little bit, and it really gives the students something serious to work for. Students from our university spend a lot of time practicing with each other, and it builds camaraderie there. They meet other students at the meeting here. There's social events for the students. And like I said, one of the things that I appreciated as a graduate student, and I try to do myself and encourage others to do, is really take the time to interact with the grad students.
Very good. And you were talking about grad students, which are even a little bit further in their education, right? But I talked to a person over here in the poster session who was in high school and already was doing poultry research, and I was really wowed by her. She was just a great kid. So there's a lot of student interaction, I guess, but I also love it that there's just big round tables out here, right? We're outside the ballroom, and every time I walk out, the halls are packed. Don't get me wrong. The ballrooms are packed with listening to speakers, but there's meetings going on all over, right? And that collaboration and networking is just happening 24/7 at this show, it seems like.
Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity to get together with, like I said, friends that you've met over the years, but also it's always nice to meet with research sponsors.
Right.
It's a gathering place for them. It's a great opportunity to work with collaborators, different universities and institutions, there's social events as well. So you can have a beer, you can have a coffee or breakfast in the morning, and the e-posters that we've tried this year have really been, I think, a benefit in terms of encouraging that interaction as well.
Yeah, I told the Lindsay who works in communications, I said that's a game changer for this. Livestock poster sessions will never be the same, in my opinion.
Right.
So very good. Well, let's switch gears really quickly, and let's talk a little bit about I want to ask you a couple questions because you're a nutritionist by training, right? That is your background. And you travel not just in Canada and the US, but you travel globally. And I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, let's talk about nutrition and some of the hot topics that you're hearing about. I have an idea, which you might say, based even on some of the symposiums that are here. But I want to hear from you. What are the hot topics that you see from that standpoint in nutrition? What are the problems and the bright spots, I guess?
Yeah, I think it all comes down to sustainability, and that covers economic sustainability, it covers environmental sustainability, and it covers social sustainability. And I think some particular aspects relate to, in the nutrition world, how do we feed the birds in a more sustainable way? So how can we use different products? How can we use different sources of ingredients? So co-products or byproducts from food processing and so on. And so that's really an opportunity to take a low-value product, run it through a chicken, and produce high-quality products like chicken meat and eggs. Another thing related to that is, as the industry has moved away from using growth-promoting antibiotics, we still need to maintain good gut health. And so there's a lot of opportunities there for, again, feeding birds in a way that is going to allow them to attain good growth, good egg production, keep them healthy, keep the products safe and wholesome. And that's an area of interest for me, but I think it's really important for the industry as a whole.
Very good. And there were 2 sessions here on inflammation this year, right? I mean, that is a hot topic, at least here in North America.
Yeah, it is, and it's important around the world. Again, even in humans, inflammation is a concern with aging and oxidation and some of the environmental challenges that we face. And so if you look at the effect of many infectious diseases, heat stress, other environmental challenges, a lot of those negative consequences are mediated through inflammation. So inflammation is a really important part of the immune system, so we need to have it. We need to have it able to respond, but we want to make sure that it's not always activated, or that it's not activated by things that really aren't a challenge or a health concern. And so if we can modulate inflammation, we can maintain good health, and we can maintain good productivity, because inflammation, if you think about how you might feel after a vaccination, that's a lot of that feeling that, the soreness and so on is mediated by inflammation. So if we can reduce those negative impacts, we can keep the birds healthy and happy and produce product effectively.
Very good. And today I was in one of these sessions, and one of the USDA researchers was talking about good inflammation. His title, the name of it was The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, right? But he was saying that there is good inflammation. And so it was really enlightening to me to think of it that way, because I only think of inflammation from my knees aching and my back hurting, right? But it was interesting to hear a different perspective on that. So it was really, I enjoyed it a lot. So very good. Any other hot topics that you see, or anything else that you think of from a global standpoint that you think is, from a nutrition standpoint, is really a hot topic for the industry?
Well, we're always trying to understand the bird better, and how do we address the physiological needs, the nutritional needs of the birds in new and innovative ways that increase sustainability, so allow us to use lower quality products, or maintain health. The challenge we have is that the genetics are always changing. The geneticists are always selecting for faster growth and higher egg production, and we can achieve that, but we also need to have the nutritional support for that.
Very good, very good. Well, hey, I've got one more question for you here, just to kind of close out. You will be president through next year's annual conference, which is a special conference. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. It's a little bit unique. We have our Poultry Science Association annual meeting every year, typically in July, and it moves around various cities in North America. Next year, it will be in Toronto, Canada. And it's a little bit unique. Our timing is shifted in the week, so we're starting on July 10 next year and going to July 13 in Toronto. And then immediately following the end of our meeting on July 13th, we will have the World's Poultry Congress. which is organized by the World's Poultry Science Association. So it's kind of a big event.
Yeah.
We're going to have two different international poultry science societies meeting together consecutively in the same place. And so it's a really good opportunity for visitors to come to hear the science that's going on. And the two organizations run their meetings a little bit differently, so it's not going to be the same thing twice over.
Right.
It's going to be, I think, a really useful and interesting opportunity to see the science that we're doing and see the science that's being presented at their meeting as well. And so I think there will be a good synergy.
That's awesome. I think of it as a 2-for-1. Travel once and you get two conferences at the same time. So I think it'll be really exciting. Well, thanks again, Doug, for all the information today.
Thank you, Sarah.
This is Sarah Mikesell with the Poultry Site.